Hello, what are you doing here? Come back for more, have you? Well, you'll be pleased to know that this is the next instalment of our top 100 board games of all time. This is number 60 down to 51. We're almost halfway there. So if you were thinking about setting fire to your house and staying where you are, then don't do it just yet. There's only going to be another 60 or so minutes of this bullshit for you to put up with. Rather than park your ass on a flaming armchair, watch these next 10 games in awe. Bollocks. So number 60 on this list is a game called Tzolkin, the Mayan calendar. This game is famed for the big fuck off cogs basically act as a timer. This is a worker placement game. You'll be putting your workers out to the board and you'll be taking them off. Nice and simple. But the longer you leave your workers on the cogs, the more lucrative the rewards will be when you pull them off. But you've only got a certain amount of workers that you can put out. You'll be making offerings to the gods. You'll be pushing yourself up on different tracks to get points. You'll be trying to get these crystal skulls that Indiana Jones left behind. And you'll be trying to eat a load of sweet corn as well. Tzolkin, the Mayan calendar, is one of those games that is insanely simple to play. You're just going to be putting a worker out onto a cog and pulling it off. But then that opens up a wealth of different possibilities and you get sucked into this black hole of decisions. So yeah, it is overshadowed by the bling of those cogs, but there's a decent game floating around underneath. So number 59 is a space game called Exodus Proxima Centauri. This is a game that some people claim is Twilight Imperium in miniature, but in my opinion, it's nothing of the kind. This is like a 4X game. It's exterminate, expand, extrapolate, and bat one off in a shower. But in this game, you'll be building ships, you'll be going around the universe trying to blow other people away. And the resources are marked on this board by dice. So when you use up one of the planet's resources, you will move the dice down. Each of the factions has got a special ability if you've got the first expansion, right? So that really does ramp things up quite a bit. And it's just a real solid alternative to Eclipse or Twilight Imperium. And it does play in a little bit less time than its big brothers. If you're looking for a worthy competitor to the other two behemoths, then this is the one you should check out. Number 58 on this list is a game by Jamie Stigmar. It's called Tapestry. When this come out, didn't really get a lot of buzz, and I looked at it and thought it looked bland and boring. And when I played it, I thought it's just basically moving a marker up a track. But the amount of options that you've got in this game is astronomical. There's loads and loads and loads of different factions that are going to give you different special abilities. You've got loads of different buildings that you can build that's going to give you points. There's like lots of little mini games that when you build a building, you're going to be putting it out onto a board and you'll be trying to cover up different spaces that are going to give you rewards. There's a bit of dice rolling in there that's going to give you a load of rewards. And you've also got a little bit of area control on the main island map. I suppose this game is effectively themeless. There's not really anything that links this to the real world. So it is a shame that it is a little bit bland, in all honesty. But it's a game you can play again and again. There's always different methods you can use to move up different tracks and unlock different abilities in unison with different factions and different civilizations, right? So yeah, I recommend getting both expansions for this because that does add more content, more variety. And yeah, we just enjoy Tapestry because I suppose at heart, I'm pretty fucking boring. Number 57 on this list is a negotiation game, a space game called Cosmic Encounter. This game was first produced in 1977 and it's still with us today. In Cosmic Encounter, you'll be taking control of an alien faction with a game-breaking ability. You'll be trying to land your ships on 5 of your opponent's colonies. You'll be doing this by playing attack cards. It's a case of play a card, reveal it, and whoever's got the highest attack strength will win the battle. But you can offer to have other players back you up in either offense or defense. This game shouldn't really work in principle because some of the alien abilities are absolutely batshit crazy, right? And sometimes it's difficult for players to understand exactly what their aliens do. They are color-coded in green, amber and red. Just give the inexperienced players the green aliens. Loads and loads of content. There's recently an expansion that added sort of like a campaign thing. We haven't played it. We've got a lot of the extra mini-box expansions and Cosmic Encounter is going to be with us until the world blows up, which might be next year or maybe the year after. Who knows? Number 56 is a game by the lifestyle activist Eric M. Lang. It's a game called Rising Sun. In this game, you will be trying to take control of regions of feudal Japan by placing big fuck-off monsters represented by those, call me or not, super duper miniatures. There's a political phase in this. You can team up with another player, and if you're playing with an odd number of players, somebody is going to be left out of the tea party. You'll be playing cards that will trigger events, and if you've got the expansions, then you're going to be adding a truckload of extra monsters and some traditional Japanese characters that actually turned out not to be traditional Japanese characters because they nicked something from some like New Zealand Reddit post or something like that. But yeah, Rising Sun, we don't do it anymore, but we back the Kickstarter version of this, and to be honest with you, it's the game that has the most amazing component quality, and it looks stunning on the table, and what can I say? It's a fantastic game. Number 55 on this list is a game that a lot of people say is the best 3-player game ever made. It's Uwe Rosenberg's Le Havre. In Le Havre, you will be taking resources from the barges on the river, and you'll be spending these resources to build buildings. A bit like Agricola, you know what buildings are going to come out, but you don't know what order they're going to come out in. So you've got to plan your strategy effectively, holding back resources for the buildings that you really want to get into play. This does play out to 5, but it does get to be a little bit long. But with 3 players, it works really, really well. Can be a little bit messy because of all the little tokens, but just stick them in little tubs and you'll be fine. So don't shit yourself. Number 54 on this list is a hidden traitor game called The Thing, the board game, probably because it's a board game. In The Thing, the board game, you're going to be trying to survive the winter in an Antarctic outpost, all the while wondering whether or not the person sitting next to you is really a bloodthirsty alien. You're going to be going around the map of the outpost, putting out fires, basically be trying to escape either through the snowcat, you might have to activate the radio, or you might be able to fly off on the helicopter. And if you end up in the same space as the Thing, then you're going to turn into the Thing, and then you're going to have to try and infect other people. It's a fantastic game, yeah. Let down by a really shitty rulebook. It's one of the worst rulebooks we've ever encountered in board gaming. It really does add a new slant onto the hidden traitor game, and thematically, it really does feel like you've nestled yourself in Kurt Russell's underpants, keeping yourself warm by his ball bag. Number 53 is another game by Paolo Mori. This game is Ethnos. In Ethnos, you'll be selecting a number of different factions, and you'll be playing these cards trying to collect sets of either each faction or each colour. That's how you're going to get points. There's loads of little mini games in this depending on what factions you're using. Like if you take the Giants, for instance, you're going to be vying for control of these tokens. Or if you've got the Orcs, you'll have a little track that you can use where you'll be able to place tokens out there that's going to give you a load of stuff. There's also a bit of area control. You can put these markers out to the main board, and whoever's got control of different regions is going to score victory points, and that is the main way that you're going to win the game. Funny old thing. But Ethnos is a very simple game, plays out of 6 players, easy to teach, and for fuck's sake, Paolo, where's the bloody expansion for this? How long's it been? 4 years? Get your finger out your arse. Number 52 on this list is a bag building game called the Quacks of Quedlinburg. This won the Spiel des Jahres a few years ago. It came out of nowhere. Nobody knew what it was. Everyone looked at the title and thought it was about Donald Duck. Basically, what you'll be doing, you'll be placing tokens into a bag and drawing them out, putting them into your cauldron, hoping that you don't blow it the fuck up. And that would be a real shame because you've already set fire to your favourite armchair. If you manage to survive the potential inferno, then each different ingredient you put in will trigger a different reward. You've got the Herb Witches expansion that's going to add even more stuff, and there's also the Alchemist expansion, which is going to add even more stuff. Quacks of Quedlinburg blew people away, and it's one of them enjoyable push your luck games where you just want to reach in and grab a pumpkin, but when you pull out that cherry bomb, everybody cheers and you just end up crying into your pillow. Number 51 on this list is a game called Formula D. This is a car racing game. In Formula D, you'll be rolling a set of dice dependent on what gear you're in. So the higher the gear you're in, the bigger the die you're going to roll and the further you will move. But things get complicated when you're going around corners because you've got to stop on each corner a different number of times, right? which means you're going to have to slow down. So you're going to have to take risks with the gear that you are in. The advanced game can get a little bit confusing, can add a load of unnecessary bullshit to the game. And there's even a street racing version where you can flip the board over and play with specific characters with specific special abilities. Formula D is a quick racing experience. It's a fantastic push your luck game. There's loads and loads of different tracks available for this, so all games are going to be different. And so far as push your luck games go, this is one of my favourite because my life is just one big car crash, so I feel at home. So there you go, that is the next instalment of our top 100 board games of all time. Now is the time that you can set fire to your house and sit in that proverbial burning armchair. But if you choose not to do that, then please, by all means, come back next time where we will be dipping our toe into the top half of this list. That means we'll be doing 50 down to 41. We'll be inching our way towards the cliff edge of number 1. Why don't you have a guess and tell us where you think your favourite game might be on this list? Maybe it won't be on this list at all, but don't get disappointed because I don't care. And we'll see you next time.